G'day viewers, quick follow up on last night's video about Tony Abbott and his government paying people smugglers to take asylum seekers back to Indonesia. Remember me saying the Labor opposition were just as much a pack of arseholes on this topic? Well, it turns out today, with more discussion and more scrutiny on the idea of paying people smugglers, that during the previous Labor government, someone, probably one of our spy agencies, was involved in paying off people smugglers. This appears to have been paying the people operating smuggling rings for information and to try and encourage them to stop. What opposition leader Shorten has said is that he's been told there was never a case under Labor where an actual boat full of asylum seekers was paid to turn around. I'll leave it to Labor apologists to say that's not as bad. As far as I'm concerned, they're all complete arseholes. What Australia needs is someone with the guts to behave like Lyndon Johnson did in the 60s when he signed civil rights laws saying words to the effect that, well, doing this has lost the South for Democrats for a generation. See, that's what someone with some actual guts does. I'm going to do something because it's the right thing to do, not just pander to bogan racist fuckwits. But, you know, Australia's waiting desperately for this. The current federal government is the worst abomination and abuser of human rights just in living memory, but the opposition with Blob Shorten is just so fucked and uninspiring, and nothing's going to turn around till someone has the guts to stand up and do what's right. For shits and giggles, let's run through some of the lies the government is telling on the asylum seeker issue. First, the constant reference to queue jumping. There isn't a queue for asylum seekers. When you're in a country where you're being repressed, where you're facing the threat of torture and murder, you don't stand in line and go, well, I hope the government will just let me stand over here. No, you fucking flee. You give up everything in your desperation to get to somewhere where maybe this isn't going to happen to you. And oh, the second big lie, calling them illegals. Say, well, they didn't arrive in the country with a visa and a passport, therefore illegal. No, they're asylum seekers. Under international law to which Australia subscribes, seeking asylum is not illegal. Every time this fucking government, and for that matter the opposition and their supporters, make reference to queue jumping and illegal arrivals, they are fucking lying, okay? And the specifics of this case. Some people, you've got the Liberals and their supporters divided into two camps. The people who are still saying it didn't happen, fuck off, get with it. The Indonesians are producing more and more evidence. The United Nations have said, yeah, that's compelling evidence. We believe it. Australia has to explain why they're doing this. And the second are the ones saying ridiculous equivocations. Well, it's cheaper in the long run. Really? You're saying the people smugglers are bad. In fact, they've said, oh, they're the worst. The money's going to terrorism. So when you give money to them, you're giving money to terrorism. You know, you can't really justify this shit no matter how hard you try. And the people saying, oh, it's cheaper in the long run. Really? It's like, let's keep this simple. Like, I have kids and I've had experiences with them in the past, with their mum going out shopping, coming back with new stuff, toys or clothes. I go, why did they get that new stuff? Oh, they saw it and they wanted it and they whined, and so I bought it for them to be quiet. Well, do you think next time you go out, having rewarded them for that behaviour, they're more likely or less likely to do it? So when these asylum seekers were being ferried across by people smugglers and they were pulled up and the people smuggler said, well, no, I'm not going to turn around because this is worth a lot of money to me. And an Australian representative went, here, take this wads of cash. Do you think they're going to sit at home, well, they paid me to just come back. I probably should never go out again. Or wait, I could take the money from these desperate asylum seekers, go out there, and when the Australians intercept me, take their money again and go back, and then these poor desperate bastards will probably find even more money to pay me again, and it's a never-ending cycle. That's slightly more likely than an people smuggler going, well, they gave me some money and told me to go away. I've learned my lesson. This is just bullshit. And as for what's cheaper, the psychopathic concentration camps that asylum seekers are being put in by Australian authorities are way more expensive than actually bringing them into the Australian community to process their claims for asylum. That's been proven again and again. These actions are not about saving money. They are about catering to hideous, racist fuckwits and trying to win votes from said racists. Oh, and as for the hideous lie of, we're saving their lives, we don't want them to drown at sea. Fuck you, you evil, lying fucks. You are sending these people back into more dangerous situations. It's not, we don't want them to drown, it's, we don't want them to drown where Australian media and therefore the Australian public will see it. They're being sent back into far more dangerous settings with no care for their well-being. This idea that you care about whether they live or die is a fucking disgusting lie. This government has gone so far as to take Tamil asylum seekers and hand them directly to the Sri Lankan military, who have a long track record of torturing and murdering Tamils. So, caring about their safety? I don't fucking think so. And can I just for a moment talk about Abbott's flat-out refusal to even admit to what he's doing, spouting this ridiculous bullshit of, I don't talk about operational matters. We stop the boats by hook or by crook. Fuck you, you piece of shit. This is a fucking democracy and you are fucking answerable to the Australian people. And when someone asks a pretty simple question, are you illegally paying money to asylum seekers just to bolster your bullshit about we're stopping the boats? People deserve a fucking answer. And I swear to God, if this shitty, complacent media in this country lets him get away with this, I was about to say, I give up, but I'm not. I'm going to get fucking angrier and I'm going to do more of this because this is bullshit.